new ideas that are novel and different and trying to bring them to reality. That's what I'm all about, really. Other people can be different, that's cool. So my latest venture is Sleep Cogni, and it's a sleep product. I've been an insomniac since time started for me, really. I had difficulty falling asleep when I got to bed. I think if you are a creative type, when you go to bed in the evening, it's the first time that you can actually wind down. You put your head on the pillow and then you start thinking about shopping lists, what are you going to do at uni tomorrow, projects, this, that and the other. Next minute it's, an hour's gone and you find it difficult. I've been like that for years, and I think I think it's modern day stress, it's life, it's creativity, it's whatever it is. But what we've actually done, or what I actually did, I come up with an idea that basically all these things, blue light, fluorescence, artificial lighting, was messing up our circadian rhythm, making us think this is 5 AM in the morning. So you're exposed to this all day, so your body's telling you you should be out there hunting for animals to feed the family and all that sort of stuff. And it's all the daytime unnatural stresses that we get from loud noises, sirens, you name it, any type of false stimulation. Is when you go home at night, you've still got all the stress of meetings and the busyness and all of that sort of stuff. And what sleep experts have always said is that go to bed, have an hour with no lights on, really calm yourself down, don't watch films, don't use your internet, don't use your phone, get away from blue light altogether, and that'll help you. Don't drink coffee after 6 o'clock, don't do this, don't do that. Exercise more, that's always the answer. And I thought, well, surely this isn't the answer. If we work in circadian rhythms as our natural human body does, or humans do, then surely we can start to manipulate how that works. And what we've designed is a product called Sleep Cogni that winds people down to a sleep-ready state. So when they go to bed, they just use this device, and noise, so light and sound, gently gets less and less, and it basically gives them sleep cues that they're going into sleep mode, if you like. We play around with different sound wavelengths and different light wavelengths. So blue light is one side of the spectrum that stimulates you to make you think you should wake up. Red is the opposite, so red light helps you actually get ready for sleep. So we've used some experts. So what did I do when I first come up with this idea? I thought I had to go and get it validated. So we went off and, I don't know if I can, there you go, there's a couple there. So again, when I was doing my business to surround myself around good people. So Dr. Irshad Abraham is the medical director of the London Sleep Centre on Harley Street. He's also got the Edinburgh Sleep Clinic, he's also got one in Dubai, one in South Africa. And he's seen as the leading authority in sleep. So I contacted him on LinkedIn, so this all comes back to what I was telling you earlier, and said, look Irshad, I've got to come and see you on Harley Street. I need 5 minutes of your time. I want to tell you about this exciting sleep product that I've come up with the idea. He said, yeah, cool, come down, I'll give you 15 minutes. Bear in mind, this guy probably charges £1,000 an hour or whatever it is to give rich sultans of the Middle East an hour's treatment on sleep disorders. I get down there, and then within 5 minutes he invested in me. I told him what the product did, how it worked, and he basically said, here you go, here's the cash, and I'll help you develop it. He's awesome. I've got Martin Ware, who, way before any of your time, but he was in bands. He was the guy that basically developed synthesizers and music for pop music. He was the first guy to start playing these in the 80s, 90s, I'm not sure of the actual, but he was in Human League, ABC, he's wrote for Terence Trent D'Arby, Tina Turner, people like that. He's a composer and artist, and he also owns a soundscape company called Illustrious. So I had to go and see him and say, look Martin, I've got this brilliant product that uses sound, and this is what we're looking to play with it and how we're going to use it. And he bought into the project. And then the sort of final piece for me of the jigsaw was Man de Verken. She's a Dutch scientist. She's worked on how circadian rhythm affects our bodies, light affects us, and how we work on a day-to-day basis. Again, she's a proper scientist. She's amazing in what she does. She's worked with Philips in doing their wake-up lights. She's a real pioneer in light and how it affects us. Again, having to convince her to come and join the team, and so she can do the light side of our product. We've got Martin Ware doing the sound side, and then we've got Dr. Rorschach talking about sleep behaviour and how it works. So we've assembled this team, and you can see James here. I think even he gets a mention on there. There you go, that's James Bird there. Anybody knew him? And this is, has anybody heard of Kickstarter before in here? Yeah? So this is a new medium. So basically we decided to try our luck on Kickstarter, and basically it's not really a platform or a media for medtech products, but what the objective was to try and sell 800 of our devices to people, sleep sufferers around the world. And the idea was that they'd become part of this project called Sleep Cognitive. And the idea is that we take algorithms from how the product works. My belief was that all the other products out there just monitor you while you're sleeping, so how much, and they work on movement, so you have them in phone apps and things like that. So every time you move during the night, they say you're awake or you're asleep or whatever else it is. But I didn't think that was really scientific. So what I wanted to understand, or there's some other devices that will just manage and monitor the environment, so how hot the room is, or how light or how noisy the room is. What I wanted to do is understand how the physiological side of the person is, so heart rate, skin temperature, movement, noise levels, light levels. So we monitor the whole environment that has an impact on your sleep behaviour. And all these other devices don't get close enough or understand what's happening to you physiologically. They just say it's because your room's 18 Celsius, you've slept better, or if it's 25 Celsius, it's too hot, so you should change your heating or whatever else it might be. We wanted to take it much further. So our devices understand your physiological state and also helps you interact with it, and it responds back to you and how you're feeling. So if you're in an anxious state, it's really, people having difficulty falling to sleep, it's usually caused by anxiety or stress or worry, whether it's creative or just thinking about what they've got to do the next day. And what we've combined our product with is a thing called CBT, Cognitive Behaviour Therapy. It's seen as the gold standard for anxiety, sleep suffering, things like that. And basically the idea is every time you get a cue from this thing, you press a button on a trigger device in your hand. And the idea is while you're engaged with the product, it stops you thinking about shit and lets you concentrate on winding down. It tells your body to get more and more relaxed. And it just gets you into a sleep-ready state. It works. So we went off and did some trials with Sheffield Hallam University. We give 12 patients the product, and it improved quality of sleep by 50%. So with this information and the good news that we got from the trials, we decided to try and get onto Kickstarter, try and educate people about the science of our product and see if they buy into it, and then see what the market wants and how it works and who's responding and all that sort of stuff. It's a great platform for getting out to the world, telling them a bit about what you do and getting some customers. And the idea about Kickstarter is it's an early pledge. So with Swalloway, I had to go and raise £500,000 to get the product moved on to the stage to where it is today. Well, a couple of million actually in the end, but with Sleep Cognitive, I didn't want to go out there and suddenly go to VCs and investors and pitch like I already have done, saying, hey, I need some money to develop this great idea. I wanted to throw it out to the crowdfunding, and say, look, I'm going to deliver you a product in 6 or 9 months. If you back us now, I'll give you a 50% discount on it, and you'll also help us develop the product, because the product learns information about the environment, about you, and then we take that information back in our server and then send more information out to the mass to help them sleep. And we'll be learning and living together as we do this over a pilot study, if you like. Interestingly, we did it, it's halfway now, you put it up for 30 days and you just put it out there. We've got to about 20% of what we wanted to get to. And that's not brilliant, but the thing is, stuff happens. You know, we sent out our press release on the evening of the Paris attacks. So what happened was we sent out our press release saying, world, here you go, this is Sleep Cognitive. 6 p.m. on Friday afternoon, and obviously then the attacks happened in Paris. It's something completely out of our control. It's been a horrific thing. But our press release just dropped like a stone because all the news feeds start talking about the Paris attack. So you can't legislate in business for in a business plan for things happening unnaturally. I remember with the Walnut Club, about 20% of our annual revenues were done in December. In 2009 or 10, we had the worst snow in December ever. Where we were based in Hathersage in the Peak District, nobody could get to us. So, you know, act of God. You know, the thing is, I wasn't planning a snowstorm and 5 feet of snow to hit us in December, at the beginning of December. But it ruined my business overnight. I lost, well, work it out, from 20% from £1 million, it's quite a lot of money to lose in a short period of time. So in business plan, you have to have a plan B and a plan C and all that sort of, and adapt to how it works. So we've had this product out here. It's a platform that hopefully people are really pledging to back it. So we've got 20%, which is quite comfortable. But the biggest thing for me is learning about the market that you're selling to, getting questions, getting feedback from VCs and from experts and all that sort of stuff. That's worth more than any campaign goal that you might achieve. And we've actually discovered now that the perfect customer for us is 45-year-old women. It might sound really strange, it's actually they're slightly older than that, the perfect customer for us. But it's helped us identify our perfect target market. So for future launch, when we go on to the next stage of this product, we can aim all our marketing now directly towards middle-aged, older women. And the reason they are our target market, because 1 in 3 people suffer from sleep issues, is that guys, younger people, they admit they've got a problem, they'll talk to the problems, I can't sleep, I had a tough night last night, I feel shit today, whatever it might be, but they don't actually resolve it. Where with 45-year-old plus women, they actually admit they've got a problem, talk to their friends, and we did a questionnaire, a sleep survey, for 1 month in October, where we went out to the world. Dermot filled it in, thankfully for us. We got 1,800 people respond, a 5-page questionnaire about their sleep behaviour and habits and things like that. And that gave us this really insight into our market about how people are sleeping and all that sort of stuff. And in the end, it's going to save us millions, because now we've done this, now we understand our market. Kickstarter wasn't the right platform for us to sell our product. Not the right price point, we're not in the right location, it's not the right product, there's no other health tech products on there really. And certainly our target market of 45-year-old women aren't on Kickstarter. It's a real young and up and techie type thing, Kickstarter. But on with the information that we've got now, I can go on to VCs and say, hey, we've done Facebook ad campaigns, we've done this, we've done that, we know our target market is this, this is how we're going to attack it, this is how much money I need to make it happen. So that's about it really. That's, you know, you're living and learning all the time. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an insight to running different businesses and things I've learned and whatever. If there's any questions now, I think that's about the right time, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, anyone got any questions?
Why not?
Okay.